Greetings and welcome to a Friday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is August 9th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I am doing great. I gotta say, I'm ready to get hurt. Ready to get hurt again.
What's that mean?
I don't know if you know,
but putting it up there.
My Chicago Bears are the feature of NFL's Hard Knocks documentary during training camp. Episode 1 came out this week. I'm back. We're back, baby. The Monsters of Midway are back.
In what way? In good
Optimism is at an all-time high.
All right.
We got a killer offense. Our coach underwent a whole fashion makeover over the winter.
What does that mean?
Break.
Eberflus?
Yeah.
What fashions are there? Different pullover, a different hoodie? What do you mean? A new haircut.
New haircut and facial hair.
All right.
He said,
mommy makeover, but for coach.
His wife says that he feels like he looks cool now.
Well,
and we got Caleb. I mean, what?
Feel cool, play cool. Look good. Feel good.
Our receivers are insane. We've got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Doomsday.
Don't do this to yourself. All right, great. I love a football team on paper in a reality show. It's all that matters.
I've never felt this way. I've never felt so confident.
Oh my!
I shouldn't have.
I have to believe you have felt this way. I have to believe you have.
I think after the Rams game a few years ago, when we beat the piss out of the Rams on Monday night, Mitch was the quarterback. I think I might have felt similar. I don't know. I've never been this excited about like the next 10 years of Bears football.
Oh my God. 10. Let's take it like 10 weeks. Come on.
They shouldn't do this to us. They shouldn't put us on this show. It's not right to put a tortured fan base on this show.
I can't tell you how many times I've felt the way you're feeling right now about, Derek Anderson lighting up the Giants on Monday night, if you want me to throw that out, or Hard Knocks even. And then all of a sudden, Freddie Kitchens is our coach. I wake up and whatever happened, what the hell happened to me? You never know. I'm glad the coach feels cooler and has a makeover. That seems like it'll have a big impact on the season. But
you got to look at before and after. He looks like a completely different guy. It's kind of crazy.
Well, is he a different coach?
I don't think so. The flu, maybe he might have this whole new aura about him.
Who's the OC? Who's the OC?
Shane Waldron.
Yeah,
from the Seahawks. Who
has some pedigree a little bit.
What Jackson Smith and Jigba had really bad things to say about him last year.
Oh, good.
So,
all right, yeah, he's moved on. They're all fired up about Ryan Grubb. It's the carousel of coaching, just getting fan base's optimism up from one season to the next.
God, we might be taking back the NFC North. We might not give it back for a while.
We'll see what happens. The Lions, it's the Lions territory now. The Lions cage. You're going into.
Lions are going to collapse again.
It's August 9th. PJ
Jared Goff.
PJ, we're creating a conflict of interest with PJ here, who might have worked for this football club. Do you think the Lions are going to collapse, PJ? Can I put you on the spot? You worked there 6 months ago. Where are you at with the Lions?
I don't know if they're going to win as many games as they did last year.
What a bold take.
It was a good run. I'm more worried about the Packers if I were you. I would be way more worried about the Packers than the Lions.
Okay. All right. Jordan Love could be coming. What about who's the JJ McCarthy is now the Vikings quarterback? Is that correct?
Oh, Sam Darnold. Oh. You always gotta be aware of Sam.
As a Jets fan, should I be worried about Sam Darnold?
I will go to my death thinking that Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. So,
Adam Gase.
Yes.
Wasn't that a Gase?
It was Gase's fault. It was all Gase's fault.
You know where Gase came from?
The Bears,
God,
right?
What are you?
The Bears.
well,
yeah, the Bears.
He was the Dolphins. He was with the
yes,
Dolphins.
and then he went to Miami.
Yeah.
He
Only
was
the
in
Jets
Denver.
would give him
The
a third
Broncos.
choice. Yeah.
He was in Denver with Peyton Manning. That's how
Yeah.
he got the Jets job. Peyton Manning called Woody Johnson. Was like, "You need to hire Adam Gase. He's the best football mind I've ever worked with." Wrong.
Yikes. Football Minute is off and running here. It's early. It's still August. It's still summer. I can't believe all these people going back to school. August should be your summer. Extend that all the way through Labor Day. August essentially for football camp, and go to the beach. But some people are going back to school. But we're going to do summer hours here. It's still summer here. We're doing summer hours. It'll be a quick
our daughter.
one.
Our daughter's got no activities for the month. What a mistake on our end. She's just
oh my god, that's a disaster.
She's a wrecking ball at home. It's just the house is like in disarray at the end of every day. It's like,
It's
oh
a
my
hard
god,
balance. You don't want too many obligations for yourself, but you also want your kid kind of. You need some time to yourself. You can't be running around too much, but you can't be encumbered by that child and children we all decided to have. So it's a tough balance. You owe an apology. Speaking of kids, you, not us, you owe an apology to Rickie Fowler.
You
said he shouldn't be allowed.
I do owe an
back
apology.
on the tour, essentially.
This is when you don't know
News
all the
came to
facts,
light.
when you're just scrolling around and you're just looking around and you realize something on air while you're recording. Sometimes you make mistakes. Rickie Fowler's wife's due this week. That's why he's not in the Wyndham. I apologize to the Rickie Fowler camp. I hope he has a great childbirth. I hope his wife has a happy childbirth. I think this will be their second one. I wish them all the best.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fair excuse for not showing up to the Wyndham and just skipping the playoffs or trying to qualify for the playoffs. We'll give him that one. Probably why he hasn't played since the Open Championship, if that is the case. Should we apologize to Jordan Spieth too? There's a lot of content out there about his wrist. He's just playing with an absolute bum wrist. Do we have a whole, is this a Willis Reed situation? And maybe we shouldn't be calling him just a guy. We should be calling him a hero for what he's getting through this year.
Has
with
the
bum
wrist been a problem for the last 5 years? Is that
potentially?
Are we chalking it up to the last 5 years? And if we are, then like my question would be like, why haven't we done anything about the wrist if it's been a problem for 5 years?
I'm just saying, there's a lot of content about there. Like, I just can't wait to get the wrist fixed. It's been a mess. Got to get all through this off season.
There's
get to the off.
I'm gonna hold back that comment.
All right, there you go. We don't want more apologies next episode as you let it rip while we're recording. Okay. All right. We say a lot of dumb, incorrect things on this. We don't need
I think
to be
there's a lot
fact-checked.
of Jordan Spieth stakeholders out there.
The business of Spieth fandom is a significant one, I would say. It's vast and substantial. I would, yeah. All right. So that's apology minute. One thing we will not apologize for is our hat sale. Hat sale is often flying. I got a message from Meg Atkins this morning.
They're
First sentence said, "The hat sale is hot." That's what I like to hear, baby. Hats are flying.
There's an electric amount of hats in there. There's all kinds of hats. The great thing about getting 3 hats and getting one of them for free, using the promo code HATS. Make sure you use the promo code
HATS. Plural.
Hats.
Okay.
But you get this free hat, like 3 hats, you can rotate it in. You got different looks. When you get one for free, you can try out something that I don't know if this will work for me. I always love the moment when you put on a hat and your wife is like, "What the fuck is that? Like, why are you wearing that?" I like that
just
moment.
for that moment. Yeah.
Like 6 years ago, my wife used to say that about bucket hats. Now she's like, "Why don't you have a bucket hat?" And I'm like, "Well, you kiboshed them 6 years ago. You were out on it. I held fast. I still wore bucket hats, but now they're all trendy, and they're in.
Not with my wife thinks I look like a complete idiot in a bucket hat, which I might look like an idiot in any kind of hat or not hat. That just may be my nature, but she's big anti-bucket. But you could try it. You get a free hat. I like having the beach hat. My favorite place, the beach, or like a running workout hat. Just like the sport material one. You can kind of sweat in a bunch. You throw it in the wash after a use or two. That's a good one. It's a mix and match. Purposes, styles.
We got different manufacturers too. We got if you're an Imperial hat guy, we got that. If you're an American Needle hat guy, we got that. If you're
my Richardson.
If you're a Richardson hat guy, we got that. We got lots of different suppliers. You're going to find the hat that fits your head the best if you go to proshop.thefriedegg.com, and we're going to give you a free one if you buy two. Also, I would call out, gotten a lot of texts about the St. Andrews shirt.
Very
and
cool.
I personally, when asked if I wanted any of them, I got the bag of potato chip greens. That's my personal
love the
favorite.
chip shirt.
It's sick.
It's unique.
It's
something cool. It's different. I love that. It's kind of I like that one. Yeah. That's an earnest to God statement. So the hat sale ends Sunday night, 8/11, I believe. And we've got those new shirts. We've got new polos from Dratty. And yeah, the good shirt design, ships in St. Andrews. So check it out at proshop.thefriedegg.com.
I didn't want to let this podcast down.
We've done it. You've done nothing. You've stood up tall for this podcast for 6 years now, essentially 3 days a week. We've never let it down.
When I said I want to become a FedEx Cup Facts podcast, I meant it. I've got a FedEx Cup fact for you.
Oh, great.
The Wyndham is in a hurricane delay or tropical storm delay, whatever it is. Postponement.
Yeah.
This could be a total disaster for the tour. The biggest thing we feel bad for is the Comcast Tour, big top 10. That would be the people we feel worse for. Not the Bubble Boys hoping for one last week or one last run. But anyways,
can I throw a retroactive catnip call of the week out about Comcast Business Top 10? I saw it this morning. Golf Digest. Why Scotty Scheffler will win $8 million without playing a shot this week. Catnip, they're just baiting you. They're throwing it out there. They want you to pounce. These unsuspecting people who don't listen to our podcast wouldn't be keenly dialed into the Comcast Business Tour Top 10. One of the week's biggest winner has already been decided, and he won't even be teeing it up. What could that be? Click, let me find out. Oh, it's this dumbass cable company conglomerate top 10 that we shouldn't care about. But they put a fancy title on it. Catnip call of the week.
What's the difference between business internet and regular internet? What's the difference?
We should put it to Brian Roberts, maybe. We should ask the Comcast chairman himself. I think speed, amount of bandwidth, is probably not the correct term, but amount of people that can use it at a single time. I think probably money costs a lot more, which is why they're marketing it.
It's the same
That's my
thing.
Guess.
It just costs more money.
Yeah, essentially. No, I think it's probably supposed to be faster, more heavy duty. What's our FedEx Cup fact of the day?
All right, player in the field just poked my interest. Usually we don't see golf royalty, the highest pillar in the game. This man has achieved. He is a former FedEx Cup champ. Okay. Do you know who I've zeroed in on?
Snedeker, Payne Stewart Award winner Brant Snedeker.
That's a good award win for
I like
Brant.
that. I like how they made something of that.
I've zeroed in on Bill Haas.
A sponsor exemption, I believe, or past sponsor exemption this week. Yeah.
Bill Haas is the only man to finish first in the FedEx Cup standings and average for 5 years a FedEx Cup position above 190 in the FedEx Cup standings. 5 consecutive years.
Can I ask you a question? Oh, I guess. Were you able to fact check that with every other FedEx Cup winner?
This is a presumed fact.
I mean, I think it's probably right.
The last 5
Okay.
years. And the thing is, he's averaged 17 starts per year in these 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Wait, are you saying the 5 years that followed, immediately followed?
No, the last 5
just
years.
Any 5. Okay, the last 5. Okay.
The last 5 years, his average
Sned's
position in the FedEx Cup standings. Well, this is why I went to 5 years. Sned's had some good years.
Okay.
In the 5 years, really.
All right.
When you push it out that much, because Tiger has some iffy years.
Came back
but when
in.
you do 5 consecutive years.
Okay. All right.
So he went. Well, here's his last 5 years. You ready for it?
Yeah.
209. That was 5 years ago. 209. 197. 164. 205. And this year he comes into the week at 199.
What's insane is the amount of starts he's getting. How is he getting starts? Like at the, still.
How is he even playing?
I feel like he kind of peaked when he made his father's President's Cup team in Korea and did well and performed admirably there. And then I don't think we heard from him really. That was kind of it. But what I think this suggests is that the FedEx Cup now has some real longevity, some real stakes. When you get guys who are essentially out of the game after reaching the pinnacle of the sport, the FedEx Cup champ podium, this is like David Duval still hacking, sloshing around at the Open Championship, or Cal Kavecchia or John Dale. This means that you have achieved, when guys start aging out after peaking, means you've achieved some form of stability, success, and longevity as a championship.
Do you think there's an unwritten rule that says we can't let any of our former FedEx Cup champions not be playing on the tour? Like, is that an unwritten rule?
15
like,
starts.
I mean, to be fair, he got 9. He got 9. Okay. This is his 10th start this year. But 2 years ago, he got 31. Shattuck. After he went 209, 197. 2 years ago, he got 31 starts.
It's a lot.
That's why he got the number down to 164
because he
got 31 starts.
Or FedEx Cup fact of the day.
This was the FedEx Cup fact of the day. It devolved into a little bit.
I like it. It's a great. You're putting your research in. You're not letting us down. But possibly, we think. I mean, 5 years.
The research was literally clicking on a player in the field and looking at their FedEx Cup position.
Who can use some facts? You know who could use a few less players in the field, like Bill Haas, Braden Shattuck, and others, is the Wyndham Championship, because they got 3 days now. It's a jam job down there in Greensboro. Hurricane Debbie, right? Is it Debbie? Tropical Storm Debbie? Whatever it is, the distinction, who knows when it becomes one or the other. It's jammed the Wyndham Championship. We'll see what happens. It's supposed to rain, it seems like, until like 9 a.m. Tapering off. Preferred lies for the week, I would imagine. So
while we're on the subject matter of stats or facts and stats, I got, you know how Twitter has those like suggestion topics that are just awful now? Like they're like, what's going on Twitter?
Yeah,
or X?
Maybe. Yeah.
One of the headlines, it's like clearly AI generated, was like, golfers discuss how making less double bogeys helps score. And I clicked into it because I was like, oh, wow, what a revelatory idea. If you make less double bogeys, you score better. And it was just like, the data boys talking about how you should limit double bogeys. It's like, oh, thank you for this revelatory research that tells me that if I make less double bogeys, I will shoot lower scores in golf. You know, there's also like, if I make more birdies, I'll shoot better scores too.
A 4 is better than a 6.
So there we go.
We have AI for that.
There's another fact. There's another fact.
I like that fact. Wyndham in a holding pattern. Spieth in a holding pattern. Women's Olympic golf not in a holding pattern. That is 2 rounds in, probably maybe 3 by the time you're listening to this, close to 3. As of the midway point, our leader is Morgan Matreau, the Swiss. We were popping Elvis Gerbach's kid, but here they are a week later. The Swiss are on top of the leaderboard on the women's division, the women's side. She shoots 66, goes 28-38. 28-38, an incredible 66.
Did you see what happened after the 28?
They got put on the clock?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Yeah.
I think she said something along the lines of like, I don't think it's kind of in the back of your head. I don't know if that's the reason for it, but it's not in the back of the head. I wonder who she was playing with.
That was a separate question. She had 8 threes on her front 9, made 3 bogeys coming in. We know there's water everywhere. Nelly does now too. There's plenty of danger there lurking on the back 9 at Le Golf National.
Nelly should consult some of these stats wizards.
Triples and doubles are bad for you.
Nelly, if you make less triples, quads, and 10s, you'll play better golf.
It's a mind-boggling revelation. Brandel afterwards, let me see who she was playing with. She was with Bianca Pagdananagan, the big hitter from Thailand, and Azahara Munoz. I don't know if she's slow. Who's the Spaniard who's incredibly... Oh, Saganda. I don't know. If
people are surprised Carlota's... Or I think Morgan Pressel was surprised Carlota isn't playing better. But I don't know. Maybe it's just not a good course fit or just doesn't have it this week.
Just doesn't have it. Brandel was saying that the rules official is out of line, getting 2 up in the grill of Matreau on the back, driving his cart into the middle of the fairway on, I think it was 15 or 14. 16, he's like in the cart path. He essentially have to walk around his cart to get to the next tee from the green to tee transition. And Brandel's like, this is kind of out of line. It's a tightrope to walk, I suppose, if you're a rules official. You have to put them on the clock. You have to understand the players need to understand they're being watched. But I thought that was like, if you're too slow and the group's too slow, maybe it's not entirely your fault. But that's the spot you're in, and you got to play with a rules official in his cart looking over your shoulder, then that's what you got to do. You got to be a pro. I was just surprised to hear Brandel going a little soft on that and kind of turning his guns on the rules official in his cart for being too imposing. What do you make of that? How do you regulate pace of play or on the clock? You're allowed to drive around. You're allowed to get in their grill a little bit, right? We can't go soft.
When we have events.
Oh, God.
I go with a very heavy-handed approach. I give them 1 warning.
Brandel wouldn't like that. You are present.
I give them 1 warning, a very polite warning. Point out, what's going on. Oftentimes, it's we're looking for a lot of balls. And it's like, okay, well, look faster. But then the second time I have to go out, it usually gets a little bit more.
What is going on here? What are we doing? Just incredulous? You guys gotta move. No.
I try and stay polite, but it's more pointing out.
I'm kidding.
We're not going to really have much time for lunch if you do this. It was great. Our last event, we had a hard shotgun, a second 18 shotgun that we had to make. It was 1 p.m. and it was 8 a.m. start. And I said, listen. If you want to have time to sit down and eat lunch, you need to play in 4 hours. That'll give you an hour for lunch. Every minute past 4 hours, you have no time for lunch. You're going to be the guy that gets a to-go box, and you're going to be eating it as you start your next round.
Was that Oakland Hills?
Every group got done in 4 hours and 10 minutes or less, except for one. One group got the to-go box.
There's always one. I've noticed that. I have not done as many events as you, but there's always one.
There's always a couple turtles out there. There's, some of us are hares, some of us are turtles on the golf course, and there's a lot of people in between.
I mean, you're not playing for the Masters. You're just not playing for the green jacket. There's just can't take it too seriously. Women's golf, though, Olympic golf, off to a hot start. Apparently Saturday or Friday, their third round. Expecting full sellout, 30,000 plus people there. You got the home favorite, Celine Boutier, in the running. Did not play nearly as well in the second round. Went 65-76, but in the mix. It's doing well. I love to hear that there's 30,000 people on the ground. It'll be popping on Friday morning.
Amazing atmosphere. Huge crowds. How far back is too far back in your mind?
At the 36 hole mark?
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw Scotty come from, was he like 8 or 9 on like the 10th tee?
I think he was six back.
He was 6 with 12, I believe, to go on the 12th hole. He was 6 back. Is Nelly Korda too far back? She's 2 under. The leader,
no,
Morgan,
I don't think so. She was tied
8.
for the lead and then made it a quad. What a disaster.
What's up with that? Why does she? That's happened to Lancaster, which, that hole was a little goofy that morning. Sahali was like a bizarre, like 30-minute, 1 hour implosion to miss the cut, and now she goes from in the last group to 7 back. Kind of not.
I think she needs the help of a good strategist that can tell her, if you make a quad, it hurts your chances of winning.
Don't hit it in the water.
Yeah, don't hit it in the water twice. Avoid the water. She completely flubbed the one. So
that was it was almost not so much the water ball as the drop zone ball that was just kind of flubbed, fortunately, into the bunker almost.
If she had a better target, she would, then she wouldn't have had any of these problems. She wouldn't have flubbed the shot.
If it was
That's
just
the reality.
Mapping it more appropriately, better target.
Avoid double bogeys to score better,
right,
Brendan.
Right.
Okay, she just needs to understand these core principles of golf.
We are set up for a good last 2 rounds. Lydia Ko going for bronze, silver, and the gold trifecta. She's to third.
Can I give you something to watch?
Yeah.
The spread. The spread is bucking.
The Finns are Finn. They were terrible. Fin. Benito. 22 over. Ursula and Nora. Well, at least now they're not DFL and DFL 2. But
Ursula played a good round. But Nora is 30 back right now, 2 rounds in. This one could stretch. My question to you, do we get to 40? I'm saying the over under at 44.5.
I feel like her worst golf's behind her. I don't think we're going any higher than 30. I think she's going to start coming back. I have 35.
You think she's going to go even par to have a chance at 30?
I don't know how much the lead's going to be stretched out. What's the top number going to?
I think you just
got to 19 last week.
What if it stays? I think you could say 12. Let's say the top number. It feels like 12 would be a good number to get to.
Okay. I'm bullish on Nora. Her worst golf's behind her. She's got that fighting Finn spirit. No chance to win. But still there, playing for pride. The game within the game, she's got to catch Ursula. She's 12 back of Ursula, her country person mate.
She's not catching Ursula. Ursula shot even par. You could chalk up her first round.
Did she catch Olympics? Maria Fassi? Who saw that coming? Wailing away all over the golf net. We mentioned that in our preview podcast. God. She's 16. She's DFL 2 adjacent.
You know what's crazy is like the impact of Anwa, where Maria Fassi's like this massive name in women's golf.
Yeah.
Because of Anwa.
Well, she's got some talent. It hasn't just been sustainable.
How about Leona Maguire almost DFL?
I saw that. Not a good run for Leona.
I mean, Charlie can't smoke her 6, so
that's why
she's down at 52nd.
She had immediate 81. Adjusted maybe went with the patch, some sort for the round 2. Got 10 strokes better. So, all right, that's your women's golf check-in. We'll be watching that all weekend. Should we get to Golf Forever golf advice here?
Yeah.
I'm having some knee trouble, Andy. I don't know what or where. It might have been from playing golf like a month ago. Just tried to run a few times. My knee, it's just tendonitis. My son's in football and he started, and I'm, you got to do that balance. So my knee hurts or my foot hurts. You got to go to practice. And they keep turning around on me why are you running with us? My knee actually hurts. I was supposed to play golf today. I was kind of worried about it. We got washed out by hurricane, whatever, tropical storm, whoever. And we got washed off. I was kind of happy about it, but I did. Then instead of doing my Golf Forever pre-warm-up round, I adjusted and did a golf. They've got all this stuff. They got multiple different workouts, thousands of workouts. I did knee pain relief workout. It was great. So stretching, it's not just, you could build strength, build power, rotational power. There's all sorts of different workouts, and whether you're 85 and, maybe not as spry as the guy trying to hit it 400 yards. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a text from my uncle who saw that Golf Forever is a sponsor. He's he's a good player. He's played in the US Mid-Am. And he I've been kind of amazed at how long he's stayed. Despite getting kind of into his elder years. He probably still hits it about 280. And he said, "Hey, see, you have Golf Forever as a sponsor. I've been using the program for a couple of years now. Really good stuff. Middle back tees workouts are serious." It explains to me how he's putting some longevity in his golf game.
Yeah. Yep. And so Mid-Am, old, young, whether you're trying to crush it, whether you're just trying to relieve some pain for the day, there's all sorts of different workouts customized to what you put in, different equipment. If you have nothing that day, they will get you workouts. You have your training set, Golf Forever. They will have the full-blown workout for that with your trainer and the aids that they have, the equipment they have. If you want $50 off at checkout, use the promo code EGG on any training system package. That's any package. So mix and match the equipment, mix and match the membership. You get an extra $50 off at checkout when you use the promo code EGG, EGG. I think my dad has been using this. I think he jumped in the boat too. My dad has knee trouble. So the competitive MFer wants to just keep trying to shoot 72 into his 80s. But I don't know. I'm going to have to check in with him on how he's doing it. All right. Use the promo code EGG. What's our golf advice for this week? You want to go first? You want me to go?
I got a few here.
All right.
I think this one really jumped to the top of the list here.
All right. What do we got here? Oh, it's sgsgolfadvice@gmail.com. Keep sending them in. Fall soon comes. There's lots less golf to talk about, in our opinion, but we're going to want to keep talking about golf advice. So load us up on your summer of golf. sgsgolfadvice@gmail.com.
Closeted driver versus driver participant.
Oh.
Hey, guys. I was a contestant on Driver versus Driver Season 2.
He built a club? He's a club builder?
Yes. At a fried egg event last year, I met a group of guys who I immediately hit it off with. Since then, we've played a lot of golf together and have bonded over discussing SGS podcasts and content. Love to hear that. That's the whole point of those events.
Bringing people together is the point of this podcast. Bonding friends and like-minded interests. Okay.
I have not told my newly found friend group about my past involvement in a show which has regularly received ridicule on the pods. How should I go about doing this? I feel like I owe it to the guys, given the regular driver versus driver chat. Love you guys.
This is a badge of honor.
37, no kids, no interest in fighting.
This is honestly the most interesting fact you could tell me about anyone. And you could tell me you were president of the United States once. I'd be less interested than hearing about this guy's story of driver versus driver. Don't be ashamed. I mean, we ridicule it it stunk as a show, but that's not your fault. You got in the mix. You made a club. You tell us, what was it like dealing with Brian Urlacher or, the guy from Wilson? Whatever his name is, who kind of crowbarred he paid for the show, essentially. So he crowbarred his way into becoming a a panelist. I think
Frank
this
Thomas?
is great. Is that the Wilson guy who would sit in the seat? He's Simon Cowell or whoever on the end there. The guy from Wilson.
One of the guys was Frank Thomas, who was asleep at the wheel when driver technology hit the fan.
Oh,
just
the USGA
the
guy.
golf ball. Yeah, because then he worked for Wilson. I believe he worked for Wilson. Was on the show. He was the guy that was completely asleep at the wheel when the game just lost all of its intention.
You know what? You'd love to see people go from USGA, just walk right across the street and work for OEMs. That's what you want to see. It's like DC with the lobbyists. It might be, I don't know. Every time I Google Frank Thomas, it's
the Big Hurt.
Yeah, I can't find a picture of him. Might have been him.
How about the White Sox? Congrats to the White Sox. They broke their 21-game losing streak last night.
Yeah, Grady Sizemore, new manager. They fired their manager.
They beat another outstanding organization in the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, it's sad what's happened to them.
Hey, can I give
this like a badge
what
of
I
honor.
think?
Tell all your friends
What I think you should do?
Yeah,
set up a game of golf with these guys, and I think you got to bring your prototype. If you got to the prototype spot, you bring it out with you and say, guys, I want to show you something. This is the driver I made for driver versus driver. Just like get into it. Get into the nitty gritty. These are the people that are going to appreciate it.
What's its name?
Yeah.
Like the Raptor or something. What is this called?
I hope it's the guy that did remember the one that was like a fly swatter?
No, I don't remember the specifics of any kind. I just remember, Urlacher and others. But yeah, the fly swatter. Okay. All right. But you bring it out. Is that what you're saying? You check in, you show what you've done, your work. I wonder if he was on TV. It's a great thing. I would not hide from this. I would tell everyone about your experience here. So what else you got? We want to do the next one?
Yeah, I got one for you. This is a good one, I think, for you here.
Okay. All
right, here we go. 34, one kid, one on the way, zero interest in fighting. I recently caddied for the first time. I think it was in a U.S. Mid-Am qualifier, and he made it through to the U.S. Mid-Am in September. It was a fantastic experience and an honor to watch him hit the shots. My wife is due on the day of the practice round. Additional context, induction is scheduled the weekend before, and our first child was born 5 weeks early. She casually asked if I was going to caddy at the Mid-Am, but I'm not sure with what level of seriousness. We're lucky to have family close by to help. Can I offer to caddy at the Mid-Am? And if so, how long after the birth does it have to be?
Wait, what? Okay. I'm trying
Second kid.
Yeah.
Wife's due date is the day of the practice round of the Mid-Am.
Yes.
Induction scheduled for the weekend before. The Mid-Am starts on a weekend.
Can I say something? Is caddying in the Mid-Am that big a deal?
This is what I wanted to see which way you went with. As a father of 4 children, I wanted to see where you went with this.
Like, it's an incredible accomplishment. Like, it's a big deal. I mean, Scotty Scheffler was going to walk off the course of the Masters in the lead, allegedly. First kid, I know that. He's the father, all this stuff. But why is he so gung-ho about caddying in the Mid-Am when it's the week of his child's birth? I think I wouldn't care. But if this is personally important to him, I think you choose your battles. And caddying in the Mid-Am is not a hill I would die on. It's just not. I think I wait for a bigger battle that might. Is he playing in the Mid-Am?
No, caddying.
Okay. I think I'm not dying on that hill. I wouldn't even broach the subject.
What would you say about playing?
I mean, it's a little trickier. It's like I would do the dance with your wife, see how proud and happy she is for you that you got in, that you qualified. Like, I think that's worth doing the dance. And like if it's the induction and it happened, on Monday, you wait and miss a practice day or two and you go. But it's worth feeling it out, trying to do the dance on that one. As long as she's, happy and understands the importance of that. But no, I wouldn't even broach this. I wouldn't even bring it up. And tell your friend, whoever it is, they got to find a new caddy. Where are you?
I think
you've been in a mid-am.
I think it's insane. To give you an idea of, I was going to play in a mid-am qualifier the day after I got back from my honeymoon, but it got delayed. But like, if my wife was like, you know what, I want our honeymoon to go one more day. And this was like the year after I qualified, right? If my wife was like, hey, I want to go on this. If she was like, we really need to extend this into the Monday, I would have been like, okay. I'm not going to be like, you know what? Like, I'm playing this mid-am qualifier.
And this is not to make light of like whatever. This is very important to you. You asked for our perspective and our advice and different strokes for different folks. And I would never besmirch something, that's held dear or important to someone. Like if you love this and get a personal joy out of this, that's great. It seems like it's awesome to do. But from my perspective, this is not worth even discussing or asking.
I was talking to a buddy on the phone that has a theory of like, there's three, he's a very good golfer. And there's three things like you can be good at your job. You can be, you got your job, your family, and your golf game. And the reality is that you can only be good at two of them. There's only enough time in the day to be good at two of them. And then so for you, caddying in the mid-am should not equate into running into being a good family man. If it was playing and you said, you know what, my golf game's really important to me, I could see a rationalization. Maybe.
So with the mid-am, how many of them, obviously most of the golf games are in pretty good shape. So what do you think slacks off more in that three ball equation, that the triple-headed monster? What's left behind in pursuit of the good golf game as a mid-am?
Well,
some of them don't have families necessarily.
Kicker to the story was,
none of them have real jobs. None of them have families. What's the deal?
The kicker to the story was he talked about an illustrious mid-am who'd played in X number of USGA events and how he had done the math in his head. And, he had spent like something like, I don't know, a year at USGA events or some crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
And he goes, he also happens to be on his third wife.
So the family wasn't up there, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
So right. There you go. That's the proof. The proof in this theory,
Okay.
Very successful business person, very successful golfer.
Third wife. Yeah. All right. You want me to throw one quick one at you? Less golf advice, more life advice mix of mixture. Throw one from you. This is way back in the summer. The subject line, tell me if you read this on an episode I wasn't involved in. Getting a hotel. Have you seen this?
I don't think so. I don't think I've.
All right.
Yes, I think we did.
Would ask that again. We did this one?
Oh, yeah. About the kid.
You guys were jamming me for getting a 5-person hotel for Noah Khan.
Yeah. Sticks.
I don't remember that.
You didn't listen to the episode. It's okay. You didn't listen.
Okay. All right.
I got another one. One. This is more of a suggestion than anything. That's a good.
Did you see the cart boy story?
No.
Can I read it real quick?
We'll do two more.
Go.
We'll do two
All
more.
Right, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead. The cart boy's insane. All right, go ahead.
Esteemed SGS team. I think that includes PJ. I think you're part of the team.
Absolutely.
45, 3 kids, not interested in fighting. Although I do miss the days of breaking up high school fights getting a little contact in, but at limited risk or danger. I like that. The guy that comes in to break it up.
Yeah.
Gets in the tussle a little bit, but
Maybe
not really.
a little elbow, shoulder. Yeah. Little aggression out, but you're not, oh, I didn't do it. All right.
The time has come for the new SGS golf rankings, but not in the traditional sense. A few months back, I had a quick Chicago business trip with a free day on the front end. In the past, this would make my mind wander to which great golf club I would try and access. But for this trip, there was only one option: Dick Harvest Farms. After hearing you talk about it for years, is there really another place I would rather play?
I'm losing my marbles. Did we do this one, or did I just read it? All right.
No, I
okay. I probably just read. I might have read it in the past. All right. Go ahead. Dick Harvest Farm.
And guess what? The experience held up. I stepped off the 15-yard wide fairway on the 467-yard par 4. Thoroughly enjoyed my tee shot on the hole named Sneed's Crotch. Laughed at the incredibly oversized tee markers and reveled in counting the number of par 3s over water, each with its own fountain. Let's do it. Please give us sickos the list of the worst golf courses in each metro area. There's only one way to educate the masses. Send us to the worst so we can know what is the best. Sahali, Valhalla, some Four Seasons course in Orlando, Florida.
I've done that
we
one.
need more, please.
God.
Should this become a segment? Just highlighting.
I mean,
here's the worst place you can play if you're in this city.
I love that. We might ruffle some feathers, not ruffled feathers, but we might literally ruffle some feathers.
I earnestly want to go to Lost Marsh in Hammond, Indiana, and do a video about the first 5 holes.
Please. I would love to.
I was driving past it on my way back from my family vacation in Michigan, and I almost said to my wife, I have to stop.
That would go well.
And like take the drone up for 20 minutes to fly over this golf course.
That's about asking her, I'm missing the berth, the caddy, and the mid-am. We need to stop because I need to drone a terrible golf course. With a
happy toddler in the back.
Yeah, that would go well. I love this guy's sort of approach, his method to his madness. No, I'm going to lean into the so bad it's good and get my shits and giggles off, get my rocks off going to something terrible. It's kind of amusing. Like, a guy clearly has played a bunch of good golf courses, but gone to different cities and played the top this or that. I love this approach, occasionally mixing it in. And I think that's where we come in, adding some authority, quote unquote, authority on what's bad. Do any come to mind right away that we could really put on blast? Whatever. You hear about Trump Los Angeles not being very good. Is that we got to find an LA probably has several options. I think
there are a lot of options in LA. I this is going to be a hard one to crowdsource, but you got Lost Marsh as the top, the pinnacle. To me, Apex Mountain, worst course. So bad it might be good. Okay. It's going to take you 2 hours to play the first 5 holes, though. Like, that's the tough part about it. It's like you're in for an investment. You're going to stare at the badness for a while. To me, God, there's a bunch in Florida. A course that comes to mind is Mayaku Lakes in Florida.
There's so many. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many bad ones in the Jupiter area that you could go to. I
would throw for Boston. I would throw Newton Commonwealth out there for Boston area. It's across the street from BC, just like a death trap. It's jammed. There's no land. It's just jammed in. It's like on the side of a hill. Complete death trap.
Seems like a shot.
It's just
there's gonna be some Newton Commonwealth appreciators.
I am an appreciator. I could walk there from school. It's like one of those things, but it's not a great arrangement they got going on there. So.
I think Harborside's done a lot to try and make it more playable. The port and the starboard course at Harborside in Chicago's tough scene. That's not a fun. It's a golf factory and not a fun golf factory.
God, Newton says Donald Ross, Newton resident. I gotta say, I don't think there's a lot of Ross in there. Whatever's left.
I can't wait for people to pop you for that one.
I like Newton Commonwealth. It was my quote unquote home course. You could walk across the street from BC, but it was a death trap of a situation there. We'll come up with a list. So bad it's good. The problem is, what about
the Disney course? The Disney course at Orlando with the Mickey Mouse ears.
That's probably up there. There's so many in Orlando.
It's the Magnolia course.
I don't remember. Something like that. We'll try to come up with a more expert rankings. I'll have to think about that one. God, feels like Houston, Dallas, like the Texas course. You could probably find some pretty bad ones, like on the exurbs and on the outer suburbs there. All right, last one.
I had one.
What?
I have to get the name of it. I'm gonna post. I'll post this on SGS Instagram. A friend of mine played a member guest in the San Diego area recently.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a club. And on one of the holes, it's a par 3 where you have to hit through 23 power lines.
That's incredible.
There are like 23 individual power lines. And I asked, do shots get deflected a lot? They counted all of them. Okay. They counted them all.
Okay.
While they were waiting on the tee. And I was like, do shots get deflected a lot? And he goes, surprisingly, no. They don't. Huh. It rarely happens. But it's like hard to hit the shot, even with all the power lines.
It's in your head. Yeah.
But apparently it doesn't really happen a lot. But you literally, there's 23 power lines in front of the tee box.
That's good. All right. I'm going to save the cart boy for next week. We'll come up with the worst courses, like swerve so bad it's good rankings.
The cart boy's getting...
You want me to read it? You want me to read it?
Well,
Summer Hours, 52-minute mark?
Yeah.
All right, fine. 37,
Do you have somewhere to go?
Slight interest in fighting. Soon. Okay. I just finished a nice round in Blank Mountain course near Scranton, Pennsylvania. I guess that gives it away.
Yeah.
I've driven about 5 minutes and remembered I'd left my clip-on speaker on the cart. The subject of this email is catching the cart boy red-handed. I had driven about 5 minutes and left my clip-on speaker on the cart. I called the club and nothing had been turned in, but I still turned around and wanted to check the cart myself. I got back and the GM hadn't seen, but was told to go see the cart boy. I see the cart boy, young guy. I ask him, hasn't seen it, and we both start looking in the carts together. I also noticed he was clutching something in his front hoodie pouch. I ask him, hey, can I ask you what's in your pouch? I'm not doing that. I just am not, that's just crossing the Rubicon. Like, if you can be 100% convinced, I'm not asking the guy. That's just too awkward. What's in your pouch? What if it's not? You're accusing him of stealing at that point. You're already done it. Hey, can I ask you what's in your pouch? He immediately looks flustered and says, it's my walkie. I ask him if I could see it, to which he hesitates, but eventually reaches in and out comes my speaker. Oh, what a disaster. This is so uncomfortable. After he said it was his walkie. I was furious and asked for an explanation, but he refused to give one.
Why are you asking for an explanation?
There isn't.
What are you, the fucking police? Just say, can I have my speaker back and leave?
The explanation is he took it. There is no explanation. He just simply shrugged his shoulders. Eventually he told me, hey, you got your speaker back, right? And began walking away, which is not inaccurate.
That's right.
It's not
that's right. You got your speaker back.
True
you should
fact.
be happy. Get out of there. And hope you don't run into the cart boy again, okay?
I went back into the pro shop and told the GM that his cartboard lied and had the speaker the whole time.
What?
Pretty sure the GM fired the kid as I was pulling out of the parking lot. Did I do the right thing? What would you have done?
No, you didn't do the right thing.
You're speaking to two former caddies, cart barn type denizens. there's some bad actors out there, no doubt. Bad guys that need to get jammed and pop. People, if you're taking stuff out of people's bags and you're stealing stuff or like valuables, like that's a bad deal. That can happen. I don't think I ever saw it, or I wouldn't know those people. But the kid made a mistake, young 20s. He's an idiot. He shouldn't have taken your speaker, though he thought you had gone. He thought you had vacated the premises. I will say that. Like, I'm not trying to, go soft on crime here, but the kid, you had left already. It's essentially vacated property at that point, and it's up for grabs. He comes back. Now you put him in a tight spot. I thought you had left. His explanation was, I thought you had left. I put it in my pocket. I thought it was mine now. Should he have thrown it in the lost and found? Probably. Because, that's what you do with the range finders, and you come back a day later and usually they have a bin of them. I don't know that I would have put him on blast with the GM. In fact, I would not have done that. I would not have gone in, told on him, as mad as you were, as wrong as you might have felt.
The situation would have made him feel awful enough. Right? Like after he gave up the speaker, you would have it was a situation where he was like, fuck, why did I do that? Sorry, I'm swearing.
He feels terrible, and he's caught red-handed, and he lied. He shouldn't have lied. He should have said, look, I thought you left and I took it. This guy seems a little too, I don't know. Seems a little too intense. Are you agree with me on that? You wouldn't have told the GM, wouldn't have gone in and told them after the fact. Just make off with your speaker and get out of Dodge.
Just get out of there.
All right. Everyone enjoy your Fridays. Everyone enjoy your weekends.
Sorry for the cart boy. What would you have done, PJ?
Honestly, I don't even know if I would have turned around. I would have chalked it up to I'm an idiot and there goes my speaker. But I certainly would have just taken I wouldn't have even asked what's in the pouch. I would have just been like, I'm not confrontational at all. I can't do that. There's no way.
What's in your hoodie?
Yeah, no.
You're crossing into a new territory there.
No. I don't have the wherewithal to call somebody.
You're probably the guy filming the guy making your Chipotle bowl. That's the kind of person, So.
It's a good take.
All right. Everyone enjoy your Fridays, your weekend.
Team USA down 15 to Serbia right now.
Oh boy. We'll be back with you on Monday.